Hi everyone. In this brief demo, we're going to see how Garden optimizes both time and budget by automating build, test, and deploy orchestration for Kubernetes environments. Now, traditionally developers have struggled with slow builds, staging bottlenecks, and debugging CI failures for changes they thought were already complete. We're going to see how Garden can help us solve all of these problems with the help of the online boutique. This is part of a microservices demo published by Google that gives us a nice multi-service environment for us to use in our demonstration. I'll be demonstrating local testing in Garden, but it's important to note that this is the same process that ultimately gets used in a CI pipeline. Either way, it starts with the Garden command. Garden Dev launches an interactive development environment where I can run commands like deploy and specify my local environment. Now, the first thing to know about Garden is that it saves a ton of time right off the bat by only taking actions when necessary. What's worth noting is that since most of these services have already been deployed, well, I don't need to redeploy them. There haven't been any changes that need to be reviewed, so this deploy can happen very quickly. 20-second deploy is pretty okay for our pipelines, but not very interesting for a demo. So let's also take a look at what happens when we initiate a change. I'm going to hop into one of my JavaScript files here and change this request status from serving to reticulating splines. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and instead of running deploy, because I have made a change, I am going to run test. This is inclusive. It's going to run a build and deploy as well as needed. And -F means force all of my tests to run even if they had passed previously. Now, you'll notice that, like before, our already deployed pieces aren't changed, but it sees that we made a change to the payment service. So it is redeploying that particular node. And, it looks like my tests failed. And indeed, that status is something we look for. We were searching for serving, but instead we got reticulating splines, which was not what our test expected. We can go ahead and see that same view here from the UI. And when I take a look at the dependency graph, I can actually see that this failure was with the checkout service. So even though it's the payment service I changed, we were able to see a downstream test failure by virtue of testing our integration environment all at once locally before even entering a CI pipeline. So with this, we can see how Garden can set up microservices, map out dependencies visually, avoid redundant builds, create isolated preview environments for each and every developer, and streamline debugging so that when we are deploying changes, we are confident they're going to work as we expect them to. With Garden, your CI/CD is faster, your cloud costs drop, and your developers are happier. Would you like to try for yourself? Let's set you up with a quick trial.